Maintaining Community After Displacement, a Refugee Story. In front of Morningstar Apartments in Concord, 3 Bhutanese women sit on the ground in colorful blouses and wrapped skirts. Since coming to America, the Bhutanese refugees have held together as a community to adapt to American culture while retaining their ethnic customs and traditions. Though they said they have encountered fewer hardships since living in America, the refugees struggle to adjust to unfamiliar technology and the Western emphasis on time. Time is valueless in Nepal, said Chandra Pudel, a 22-year-old refugee. No one follows the time. Chandra explained that in Nepal, people don't make plans to see each other. They bump into each other on the street and decide to get together right then. This proves a problem for many refugees who try to hold a job in America. Except for attending school, they have never been expected to keep track of time or stick to a schedule. This particular group of refugees is ethnically Nepali and originally lived in southern Bhutan. They were living in displaced persons camps in Nepal for the past 16 years after being driven out of their homes in Bhutan, a previous life that the younger refugees barely remember. In the camps, Nepali teachers taught students English. The teaching method was based more on theoretical than practical, said Rudra Timsina, a young refugee currently enrolled at New Hampshire Technical Institute. Maybe it's a surprise to hear that teacher beat the student for not doing their homework or not obeying them, but it's the truth. Chandra said he was 5 years old when coming to Nepal. He said while living in Bhutan, they were forced to assimilate to Bhutanese religion, language, and dress. Now, after coming to America, the refugees struggle to adapt to yet another foreign culture. The older generation has more difficulty adapting to American culture, said Rudra. The seniors, like my grandparents, who cannot speak English, are in more trouble to adjust to the new culture. They are really in cultural shock. Rudra said the oldest generation has to stay in the apartment because they can't speak English and the culture is totally different. I took a group of seniors to Hampton Beach a month ago, Rudra said. They said it's a village of nude people. Of over 100,000 refugees in the camps in Nepal, the United States is looking to host up to 60,000, a resettlement that began in 2007. Most refugees resettled in New Hampshire came to Concord, Laconia, and Manchester, facing an entirely different lifestyle, climate, and customs. I still do not understand the daily speaking language Americans use, said Rudra. It is because of slangs, idioms, and pronunciation. Due to this, I am still unable to think and feel in second language. The problems the Bhutanese face in America are drastically different than the worries they had back in Nepal. Instead of guarding against poisonous snakes, elephant stampedes, and worrying about food rations, the Bhutanese now worry about transportation, job applications, and welfare. The language and cultural barriers make daily activities like paying bills and shopping nearly impossible. Social interaction and relationships take on new dynamics as roles shift to accommodate the family's struggles. In Nepali culture, the caste system is a pervasive aspect of society. Although everyone receives a similar secondary education in the refugee camps, people of higher castes have better access to post-secondary education. Most refugees describe their occupations as farmers or students, and occupational skills are not taught in the refugee camps, putting the refugees at a severe disadvantage when searching for jobs in America. Even with qualifications, refugees have difficulty proving their work experience through the language barrier and lack of adequate paperwork. Refugees often work to support large families, many of which may have medical conditions or disabilities. Extended families typically live together in the same household in Nepali culture and are thought of as immediate family. Most refugees left parents, children, or siblings behind when coming to America, unsure about when they will see them again. Rudra said people feel isolated because they are unable to communicate their emotions and problems accurately in English. Gender roles also run deep in Nepali culture, making it a difficult adjustment to the mixed responsibilities and activities of men and women in America. In Nepal, women are locked into the domestic sphere while men are seen as the dominant member of the family. Traditional Nepali women usually wear sari and choli or kurta salwar, which they need to replace here with pants and shirts, said Rudra. In America, women and men have to adjust to women finding jobs and occupying a more public role without their husband in charge of their actions. Electric appliances and technology are also novelties for the refugees, though many of the younger generation have made their own Facebook accounts and are comfortable using cell phones and computers. The life in the camps was totally different from what we have now, said Rudra. The life was in dark without electricity. Students used light kerosene lamps to do their homework. No kerosene, no homework. Professions in Nepal were often hands-on manual labor. In Nepal, we have to work in the mountain area by putting a rope and go on the mountain, and we have to dig to make a road for the horses and the donkeys to walk, said Chandra. It is so dangerous. After coming to America, though many struggled to produce paperwork to obtain jobs, many refugees are now employed in the community. Despite overwhelming adversity and cultural changes, the Bhutanese community has stuck together. After being driven out of Bhutan and into Nepal, their spirit and culture has survived another relocation. Though they adopt the necessary aspects of each new environment, the beauty and color of their heritage is pervasive throughout the community. Chandra said the Bhutanese community is accustomed to holding together in difficult times. In the refugee camps, when given a food ration, the community members looked out for each other, helping those in need. Both Rudra and Chandra also said they were surprised by how much Americans respect other people. Though our cultures appear entirely foreign to each other on the surface, our capacity for kindness is at the core of our human nature, tying us together across cultural boundaries. Photography by Julia Freeman Wilbert and from sxc.hu.